This video is going to explain how to do this assignment, the 3D modeling introduction and file organization assignment. So there's really two parts to this. There is the introduction to 3D modeling, and there's also file organization. Because now that we are creating files that we want to save and retain and turn in, we have to organize them in such a way that we can find them when we need them. So let's take a look at the first part. So let's read this together. Now that you understand how to sketch, dimension, and constrain, follow the instructions to understand and practice the CAD file creation process. For each task number, duplicate the two-dimensional sketch as closely as possible, then use the Extrude tool in the 3D Model tab to create the 3D model as shown. Lastly, use the File tab and Save As tab to save the file on your shared drive. All right. Let's take a look at this first step here. So to save the files, follow the steps. Open the File Explorer, which I think they just call Explorer now. No, they still call it File Explorer. So here's our File Explorer tool. Let's collapse this a little bit. Create a folder named Manufacturing. I would tell you to go ahead and go to the Documents area, but you could do this somewhere else if you wanted, as long as you know where it is. So go to Documents, click New, click Folder. You could also right-click and click New here. There's probably 3 or 4 different ways to do it. So take this new folder and call it Manufacturing. I personally don't care if you spell this correctly, just so you know this is where your files are. Create another folder inside the Manufacturing folder and name it Introduction. So let's create a new folder in here, and I'm just going to do short intro. Save your files in the introduction folder on the computer using the appropriate name. Upload the entire manufacturing folder to the Google Drive folder. This is when you're done. So when you have the 6 tasks in here, go ahead and then take and drop this into your Google Drive. And let's real quick cover how to do that. Open up a new tab. You should already be signed into Google. Open up your drive. And I have a ton of stuff here. You may not have very much. You're just going to take the whole folder and drop it in. So for me, I would pull up Explorer, open up Drive, do both of those at the same time. And all you got to do is back up to Manufacturing. Just take and drop the whole folder right in there. So you see it's going to put the whole folder and everything inside it. This is the only time you're going to do this. After this, you would just put in the folders for individual assignments into your manufacturing folder. And then you will have a copy of it not only on the computer or in the shared drive if you save it there, but you'll also have it in your Google Drive so you could access it on any computer. All right, so that's kind of the first step of this, is just setting up some file folders to save. Note, from this point on, you will be uploading all your saved work to Google Drive, because you don't want to lose your work if a computer has to be reset to factory settings or cleared or something like that. All right, for this assignment, you will turn in 2 screenshots. One of the 6 IPT files below on the File Explorer and one of the 6 files on Google Drive. So this is kind of practice for you to save and organize your files, but you're not going to turn in your actual part files, your IPT files, until the following assignments. What you're going to do is fill out or complete this table. Let's bring it all on one page here. All right, so you have the task number, so 1 through 6. You have the description of what you're creating. You have a 2-dimensional sketch. You have the 3D model tool. And it gives you the distance here. Pay close attention to that for the extrusion tool, the extrude tool. This is what your finished product should look like. And if this is not your home view, you need to reset it for your home view. And lastly, we have naming conventions in this class, so you need to use this format. And for me personally, this is what mine would say, because this is my last name, first name, and 4 digits of my ID. So let's do this first one together here. All right, I'm going to open up Inventor. That's going to take just a minute. So I know you can't see some of these numbers here, so the first thing I would say to do is to zoom into 200%. Sometimes you can get additional zoom by doing Control+. I'm all the way zoomed in. This says 0.750, also known as 3/4 of an inch. So if we look at this dimension, it's saying this circle from a diameter perspective is 0.750 inches. I know that because the two arrows are pointing at either side. Once you create the two-dimensional sketch, you're going to click the 3D tool. So let's go ahead and do that together. Okay. Oh, let me try and pull this off to one side so we can do both at the same time here. Okay. New document, part file. New 2D sketch. At this time it doesn't really matter, but to get the right home view, I know I have to click on the bottom because I'm sketching the bottom and extruding it up. Now if you look at the example, everything is black and the origin or center point of the axes goes right through the middle. So just to make your life easy, start your circle at the origin. Once you have your circle, you're going to grab your dimension tool, click on the diameter. Now, if this doesn't give you diameter, if it gives you radius, a good little lesson here is to right-click on your mouse, and you can toggle the dimension type between radius and diameter. You will need this in future assignments. So the number is 0.750, also known as 3/4 of an inch. And this sketch is fully constrained. I can double-check with a little pin on the browser. Now from here, to make it three-dimensional, I'm going to click the 3D model toolbar. I'm going to click extrude. It's going to give me this isometric view, and I'm going to zoom out so I can see everything. And in this sub-menu, the most important thing we need to know is direction, which the default direction is working perfectly. But I need distance. How far is this thing going to be extruded? Well, since I'm given that number in the worksheet, just use that number, 0.875 or 7/8 of an inch. Now, if we look at the next box here, it says finished product picture from home view. So from the home view, which if you move all around, the home view is this little home button next to the view cube. If you click that, you should have the same view as this. Now, what happens if you don't? What if you made it on a different plane and it's pointing this way? Well, here's what I think is the easiest way. So navigate as close as you can to what it's supposed to look like something around there, and then go click this button. Actually, excuse me. Click on the corner of the view cube to get a perfect isometric view. Click on this button and set your current view as home, fit to view, and now wherever you go, if you hit this home button, it brings you back home, and you have this perfect copy of the one on the worksheet, which is what you want. Now go ahead and save this file using this convention. Put it in that folder that we had created. So File, orange button, Save As. You have to do Save As if you want to give it a name. Otherwise you end up with a whole bunch of part ones. Okay, it goes straight to my Documents folder, but I could change it here. I'm going to put it in Documents. We're going to open up Manufacturing, and this is the intro assignment. So this is the folder I would want to save it in. And the naming convention is the cylinder underscore last name, first name, and last 4 digits of your student ID. Everything that we do should be named this way. So you're going to use the title of the part, and then you're going to put underscore this this naming convention. And this is also the first half of your student email before the @ So hopefully you can autopilot and just type it in there. All right, once you get all 6, you're going to take that folder and put it in Google Drive, but make sure you finish all 6 first. So that's how to do this assignment where you're creating your first set of 3D objects. Now do pay attention that your sketch is as close to this as you can get it with the correct dimensions. And later on, you're going to have to put in constraints too. So here are 2 constraints on number 2. For this cube, you have equal sides. So you can see the little equal symbol that hopefully you remember from your constraint assignment. Number 3, you have several here. You have a horizontal or vertical, which are kind of interchangeable. And then you have concentrics. It's very important that you get all these. Now, when you see this, when you see these symbols, a lot of times these are created in polygons and more advanced sketching tools, but you do also have some horizontals here or verticals, but they're effectively interchangeable. And then number 5, you have a polygon tool, but then you also have some information here between the origin and the center of the polygon and some constraints. Make sure you get those. And then on the last one, you have a diamond. A diamond you're going to have to create using the line tool and using constraints to do it. So make sure you get all that information correctly and your sketches are fully constrained. That's what we want to strive for every time. Task 7 is here's where you're putting in your screenshots. Up to this point, you're not creating screenshots. You are just organizing the files that you create. So number 7 is the Windows Explorer of your folder, like we saw before, of your manufacturing folder, intro. And I have one, but when you're done, you'll have 6 objects in here named correctly. This is one of the screenshots you're going to take and you're going to post it over here. And then once you drop that into Google Drive, you're going to take a screenshot of it in Google Drive as well. All right, that is how to fully do this assignment. And good luck with that.